For the 5th time so far, and counting, Bitcoin has been below 10K and then returned above it. Now, I love trend lines. This one, drawn almost a week ago at this point, has turned out to again be support. Very interesting. Bulls are indeed fighting for this 5-figure Bitcoin. I wish them all the best, but this is quite the uphill battle. A move up from here would be contrary to the trend. And it is still in a downward trend. I know I'm going to get asked about this. I don't know if she survived. The Bitcoin network itself exhibits this. As we can see here, the amount of active addresses on Bitcoin has fallen 6% in the last week. And here we have the amount being transacted falling by a massive 24%. This is indicative of a downward trend, usually not that interesting. Except when compared to the fact that for the first time all year, the amount of active addresses on Bitcoin is actually on the decline. And it is a very nuanced discussion, what's more important, people holding their Bitcoin or new people being introduced to the ecosystem and creating new wallets. But we can clearly see here there is a strong correlation between the creation of new wallets and the price going up. So you don't really want active addresses to be on the decline. Not if you want the price to go up, and that's most people watching, I assume, unless you're shorting. And of course, on the charts, Bitcoin is posting lower and lower highs, and lower lows are currently in the works. If this does turn out to be a lower low, this would put Bitcoin at just about or under 9,000. And you know what that means.
When you fall off that horse, you get right back up and you eat that horse. Come eat that horse with me, Vegeta.
What the hell are you on about?
I've been reading a little bit lately that the Vegeta meme is dead, that buyers are not gonna allow a resurgence of that meme. But I don't know if I see it. While it definitely could, volume in that region is low and doesn't pick up again until we're well within this green box, which I would describe as my accumulation zone, which I've been talking about for a while now. I'm not gonna get into that again. I will say though that I'm not gonna go all in on Bitcoin if it should get there. It's very hard to go all in during a downtrend. Even when Bitcoin was at 3250 and I made a video talking about how I had bought some, I didn't go all in. What can I say? I'm either just not that much of a degenerate, that's such a hard word to say, degenerate gambler, or I'm an idiot. Anyway, as far as expecting Bitcoin to go lower, the global economy is doing well. Gold has been doing well. The S&P 500, the trade war has simmered down. If these things, which were really bad just a few months ago, contributed to the rallying price of Bitcoin over $10,000, then the fact that these have calmed down and actually doing quite well is bearish for Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin continues to surge now, regardless, despite all of this stuff, then you could say there wasn't that strong correlation to begin with. But what I do want to say is this is good for Bitcoin. And it's not actually going to take too much spin to convince you of that, or at least make an argument. So if the trend line, the parabola, has truly been broken, which, judging by some traders' trend lines, they could say, and it looks dangerous, then a correction or consolidation at this stage would definitely be a win in my books. Certainly better than a massive sell-off and correction. Main reason I would take it as a win is because it could create a more sustainable upwards movement from here. Consolidation at this stage could make a further rally far more healthy and ideally back to the long-term upward trend, which even going off of this trend line that we have here would see Bitcoin at $15,000 per by November. And I'm doing all that I possibly can. I'm wearing a hoodie today. That might not sound so impressive, except for the fact that it's the hottest day of the year in the UK right now. Now that is dedication. Ignore the AC unit blowing out 16-degree air. In the news generally, Ripple sells $251 million of XRP in Q2. Now this is quite bad news for XRP holders. This has increased by nearly 48% as versus their Q1 selling, which was $169 million worth. Now XRP fans will defend these numbers. They'll say, hey, keep the big picture in mind, They're only selling a fraction of their global trading volume at 0.16% in Q2. So give them a break. They need to fund their new partners like MoneyGram, etc. And indeed, Ripple themselves say they have plans to take a more conservative approach to XRP sales in the next quarter. Or in other words, we're not going to dump on you so hard next quarter. Or in other words still, we're going to use some lubrication next time. So don't worry, and please buy some more. Ripple also released 1 billion XRP each month of the quarter out of escrow. It's like a 1-2 punch. You get a lot of potential volume removed from the exchanges, and at the same time, a whole load of new coin introduced into the ecosystem, potentially at some point, definitely. It could have driven the price up, but it's not going to do anything but now. This is why arguments that XRP is more decentralized than Bitcoin because of the Chinese miners sound so hilarious to a Bitcoin maximalist. Bitcoin isn't in a multi-year ICO that Ripple and XRP seemingly is. That's it for me, but I am going to film 2 videos today. I'm actually going away this week. I'm going to a wedding in France, so I'm going to film meme review now. I'm going to get that out to you while I'm away, and then you can expect a new video from me when I get back next week, Tuesday. As always, feel free to @ me on Twitter any memes you would like me to review for the next meme review. Also, you can post to our cryptocurrency memes. I am now a moderator of that subreddit. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. It could have keep the big picture in mind, right? $5 per Bitcoin. Hopefully, this would turn Bitcoin into a more, hopefully this somewhat, not Bitcoin, per XRP.